Welcome to the Slip Slip Sis podcast. I'm Shay,
I'm Gabz.
and this is our YouTube channel where we shall starting out strong, where we share all about our different craft projects, things that are going on with us. This is episode 20 of our podcast, which is so exciting for us. You can find us on Instagram as slip.slip.sis and on Ravelry as slip.slip.sis. All of our information will be linked down below. Today is Sunday, March 26th, and I think that's what I'm supposed to cover. You would think I would have it down by now, but I feel like I do it different every time. So here we are.
I know some of those podcasters, they've got like a whole spiel.
They got a good intro, and I'm like, I know to start off with hello, and that's about it. All right, guys, do you want to kick off first?
Yes. So we have a design coming out in mid-April with it's a collaboration with the Fiber Company, which we've collaborated with them before on um our garland and bauble socks, which is a pattern that you can find on Ravelry or on their website. I believe they're still doing kits. So we're doing another kit with them for our all tied up socks because the theme is like nautical. So then Shaylee thinks of a thing. She's like, what about the tide? And I get it. Like, so it's tied like the ocean, but like you're tied up. Okay, cool. Great.
Yeah.
They've got these are my socks. They've got a pattern down the front. It's this really like cute, like cable lace situation. It looks way more complicated than it is, but it's really not complicated at all. This is in the Fiber Company's Wild Rose colorway. I finished both of them. I'm really done. Like the ends are woven out. I just haven't clipped them yet. So like legitimately done, not pretend done where you just stuff the ends in. So I made these out of their Cumbria fingering, which is a blend of superwash merino, I believe, and alpaca. So they're like fluffy. There's like a halo to them. Fluffy socks. They look kind of silly on the sock blockers. They're like one of the only socks that don't look that good on the sock blockers, but look better when you look down at your feet, like when they look like this, right? They look better this way than they do like on like sideways. So I'm not sure I'm going to photograph them, but that is my finished object that I just finished this morning. So that pattern is coming out in the middle of April.
I realize we should probably share what we're wearing.
Oh, they can't see mine. I will have better posture.
Okay, you go first.
So I'm sharing. I am wearing I'll stand up the yarn, one of the definitions t-shirts from Nitty Natty. Mine says yarn chicken. I don't know if the screen's going to be reversed because I can't read what my own thing says, but it's the definition. It tells you what yarn chicken is. Nitty Natty had a whole collection. I don't believe she's selling these definitions anymore.
They're still up.
Ooh, go get them. They're cute. I will say though, I'm wearing, because Shaylee and I just talked about how we loved how Lindsay of Erin Lane Bags said what she was wearing. So like her size, so you could match. This is a large on me and I'm only 5'1", and it is very, very
good.
Yeah, it's very, very long. So do that. I usually, my bust is like 37, 38 inches around. So, and this is a large. I have been wearing it for close to a year. So it shrunk significantly because it's cotton. What about you, Jay?
All right, so I am wearing my new Starlight Knitting Society shirt. It is from this year's yarn crawl that Gabz and I didn't get to go to, in case you didn't know this. But check out our weekend vlogs from what we did instead. So I think it's so cute because the fairy is knitting and the unicorn is wearing a scarf. I think it's so cute. Okay, so for size, here I'll scoot back. I'm wearing a large. So I think I prefer to have like a baggier look. This is it all the way. Ooh, back it up. Back it up. This is when it's all the way like full length, but I like to kind of slouch it up because, you know, I got some hips, so I can do so. I will say though, what's surprising me is that the shoulders actually fit really comfortable for me. And I have bulkier shoulders. I'm broader in my shoulders, but it's actually hitting me only a little bit past like where my knob is before my delt starts. So I would say maybe if you're bulkier shouldered like me, you might want to size up something like this, unless you prefer like a form-fitting look. It's probably my turn, huh?
Yes.
Okay, so I have a recently finished object a couple of days ago. These are my party, or I'm calling them my party DK socks because the colorway is a perfectly imperfect party like it's 2023 yarn from Hypnotic Yarn. So her perfectly imperfect yarns are the ones that just are maybe are slightly off from what she wanted for the colorway. And I think they look great and fit in fully with my pink theme. And plus, because they're not exactly right, she does sell them at a little bit of a discount, which I think is so super cool. Plus, we're on a DK kick this year. So I'm loving these, I will say. And I did just a little bit longer for the leg. I did 40 rounds instead of the typical 30 that I do.
I like them. They're really cute.
Thank you.
My turn.
Yeah.
This is my last finished object. I finished my Nightshade Society test knit for Tristan Molina. It looks like a spider. It honestly looks like Morticia was knitting if you've seen the Addams Family movie where Morticia's knitting, she's pregnant and she's knitting the three footed jump onesie. This is it. It looks like it. It's totally like spidery and octopusy, but I really like it. It looks weird flat, but it on the body it works out. So it's got this really nice like high neck because it's based on the TV show Wednesday. So it's that like kind of severe style. It is in her Moon Eater colorway, which I really, really like. It's great. I think Tristan's designs look really good in her yarn. We've knit hers a lot. This is my first time knitting it with her yarn, and I'm like, I see now. I see now. It's got this really fun cable detail. It's really like textury and interesting. It looks good. The process to make it was not my favorite process because the cable, it's not really memorizable. So there's a what's it called? It's not working out. It's not working out for me.
Put the whole thing on.
Okay, so there's this center cable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a repeat of like 12, right? But then there's these side cables, which is like a repeat of like 8. So it doesn't evenly repeat. So you can't memorize the whole thing. So it's like actually a 24 chart repeat, but you can't memorize the whole 24 charts because humans, we don't memorize that many lines. Right. So it's not a memorizable chart. So I had to look at the chart every single time, and I don't like doing that. So it's not the pattern, like it's just the process in which I wanted to knit. This was not the way I wanted to knit it. But it came out really great. I cropped it severely because I have a lot of sweaters that are the same length that hit right above like my hip line. And I wanted a shorter one that I could wear with dresses. And I only had 2 skeins of the yarn. So I was playing yarn chicken again, but I totally made it. I have plenty, but I really like it. I think it's coming out end of April, beginning of May.
What size did you make?
I made the size 3,
okay.
Which is okay. So it's supposed to have like 4 to 6 inches of positive ease, but I know that that's not going to work for my shape. So mine's got like 2 inches of positive ease. I think I made I think it's like a 38 or a 40, and I'm like a 37 or a 38 around. So I knew I wanted to have like a tighter fit, I guess.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what you should do with sweaters, right? Is knit the sweater that you want to fit you.
Yes, yes, unless you look exactly like the model, except that you're probably gonna have to make alterations. Like I'm only 5'1", so my sleeves are always shorter. Like my sleeves are never gonna be the length and the torso, never the correct length that I need to do, which is fine. And I'm learning that I need to adjust the raglan as well because of my shoulder to bust. Like the distance between my shoulder and my bust isn't that far because I'm petiter, but my circumference to my shoulders is like way big. So I have to like increase rapidly. Otherwise it's either way too baggy and like the armpits are like down here, or it's too tight. And I'm like, oh gosh, can you see my nipples through this shirt? This is terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So adjustments. Make adjustments as you knit. Try that stuff on. Like Nitty Natty. Try that stuff on every time you wear things. Don't be silly.
Are
That's
you
it.
sure you don't have one more finished object?
What might it be that you think I finished? I thought I showed those already.
Were you finished? I thought I only finished like a day after you.
I thought I showed those already. I did. You showed yours already.
Mm-mm.
Dang it.
Mm-mm.
No, I finished right before the podcast, I think.
100%?
No, like 60.
Cool. Well, if you haven't seen them, comment below and Gabz will show her socks. But these are our March swap socks. And this is a follow your path pattern from the Crazy Sock Lady. And this was the yarn that my sister gave me. The yarn is called Roller Rink and it is from Maine Fiber and Supply. And okay, I didn't love the pattern because it was just for like, because of this really cool twist, it was just harder for me to figure out where I was going with it. But now I'm looking at it and I feel like it looks really, really cute in this yarn. I probably wouldn't make it again, but I am very pleased with how they look now because I feel like when Gabz cranked these socks, they were very Eastery. And I feel like this is even more Eastery for me because it like reminds me of like the Easter basket, if you will. So these are cute. I'll start wearing them when it is more springy and because it feels kind of still wintry here. Still me.
I'm done.
All right.
Because I think I showed mine. I'm not 100%, but you know.
All right. So I also finished a sweater. This is my Something Cozy sweater. And it is it's not just something cozy, it's just hella cozy. So I think this is so fun. And I'm glad it's still kind of cold out because I feel like I can wear it a little bit, especially in the evenings. So this is a pattern by Shayna Billow, and I used Knit Picks Alpaca Boucle to knit it up. And then I held it double with Earl Grey Fiber Company, the colorway flannel on her Darjeeling, fingering sock base. And so you're supposed to actually hold it with like a mohair or like a surrey, but I was like, that's just too fluffy for me, especially here in Southern California. So I wanted to do the fingering. And I think it came out really cute. I did the medium and large pattern for me. And I wasn't gonna knit the entire length, but I'm really glad I did because it would have been really, really cropped if I had only done the 14 inches that I had planned to. And so it's so giant. I can just, this is the pic, Gabz. This
Ready?
is it. But I think
you gotta put your arms up.
I should, it's too late. Okay, so this is kind of like where my top of my pants are, and this is where the sweater is coming. So I think it came out really cute. I did slightly shorter sleeves, so it called for 7 inches, I believe, to do on the sleeve so I seamed it together and it's right about there. It seems I did about 6 inches. And then you were supposed to do like a folded over collar, but I was like getting to the point where I was like, I'm done. Like, so I just did a little bit of ribbing for the collar. And then what I did do, which was not in pattern, is you were supposed to knit when you did the sleeve part. So right here, you're supposed to knit it flat and then seam the bottom. But I also was at a point where I'm like, nah, I'm tired of doing back and forth. So I just picked it up in the round and then knit it out, which worked out great for me. And I feel like saved me a ton of time. So finish this one. And that means I am actually on track to finish my other sweaters that I have planned for 2023 because I finished this before April and I have my goal is to basically do a sweater every 2 months. So I think we're working out. But yeah, cozy.
How much yarn did you use? You said you used way less than
You're right. Yes. Thank you for asking, Gabz. So I actually used way less yarn, than I thought. I'm really just enjoying myself. I feel like I'm in snow with this sweater. I used way less yarn than I thought I was. I used maybe just hit my hand on my desk. Like one whole skein of the fingering, which is 100 grams, and then maybe 40 grams of the second ball. And then I used one full skein of the Surrey of the alpaca boucle. And then those are 300, I think 300-gram balls. And then I had still like 20 or 30 grams left over when I was done. So I had 3 skeins of each of the yarns, and I have fully intact skeins left. So the boucle is going to my sister, and I will hold on to the flannel and maybe hope she forgets that I knit with it, and I'll gift it to her later. And she'll be like, "Oh my God, new yarn!"
But it's still, honestly, it still feels like new yarn. Even if she has it, then I'm like, ooh, because I really like when dyers show you what the yarn's gonna look like knit up. Like I really like she's Tristan's Dragonhorn yarn. She does those cute little sweaters. So you can see what it's gonna look like knit up. I know some dyers like crank a tube, or some dyers do like little mini socks. I really appreciate it. I know it takes them more time, and like gold star to those dyers who do it as crocheted and knit, so you
Yeah.
can see what it's gonna be, because I don't think there's like crochet machines for like the hobby. So that means they're doing this all by hand. Like cranking a sock tube doesn't take that long. Truly,
Right.
it takes like 5 minutes, especially if you're cranking a bunch of them. But like if you're crocheting all those granny squares to show the samples, amazing. I love when they do that, because you can really see what it looks like, and you can tell like, oh, especially if it's a variegate or a speckle.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, I don't know what that's gonna look like.
Whips.
Yeah. How many do you have? I had 3, and then I ripped one out, so now I have 2.
Okay, I'll go first. Uh, okay, I'll show my socks. So I started a new pair of socks. I was really proud of myself. Like when I finished the DK socks and finished the Something Cozy, I basically only had my Scrappy project. So I'm like, oh, cast something new
Nice.
on. So I decided I would do some fingering socks to remind myself how to do those. And we got a Rogue DPN. So I've had this yarn kicked up for a while because I split the skein with my sister, which is something that we often do with our yarns because we both really don't need more than 50 grams for a pair of socks. So that ends up working out really well for us and saves us some money, I'll say. So I am doing my Saul Goodman socks,
Oh,
and
I love those. Is
isn't
that
it
the pink? Is
fun?
that the pink you're hoping to get from me?
Well, I think I might have enough, but I'm also not sure. So basically, Saul Goodman is a colorway from Breaking Yarn. And then the pink is leftovers from the custom colorway or colorway inspired by your Slip Slip sisters that Kimber's Cozy Creations created for us. So the pink is me. I'll say Gabz is the purple, and the pink is called Tickled Pink, and I had some leftovers because we made a sock out of it, which is called, oh my God, I
Let me
forgot
see
it.
if I can find if I've
It
got.
Takes Two is our sock that we made together, and it didn't actually use up that much of the contrast. So I'm using it right now to do contrast, definitely cuff and heel, but I'm not sure if I'll have enough for the toe as well. So my sister might have extra, but I'm not entirely sure if she does. So I may just have
This
to
isn't
like
it.
that's the Purpinkle colorway, which is our combo colorway, and then it came with the 2 different minis that were accompanying it for like a sock set. So I think I'll have enough, but because I think I had to say I don't remember. I should have waited and done a lot more math, but I was like, Gabs will probably have extra, or
I do. I just don't know where it is.
I'm sure it's somewhere. I'm actually going to go visit them in like a week and a half, I want to say. So I probably won't be done by then. At least with the second sock, I won't be done. So at least, and worst comes to worst, like the other toe is different. And these are socks for me. So like, I don't really care. I think it'll be fine. But I really like the micro striping that's happening with the Saul Goodman socks. And I think I'm glad I went with a contrast for these because I think it would have been like a lot if it was only this colorway for me. But yeah,
I agree. That black would have been intense.
yeah. Plus, it's really pretty in the ball too. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah, I
really
like it.
enjoying it.
Me? Okay. Well, so I was rifling while my sister was doing things. And the reason I was rifling is so I really liked my sister's something cozy sweater, but I don't really follow patterns because I'm learning, because I want to be just like Kay, the crazy sock lady, of course, that I'm really a process knitter. Like if I like the process of what I'm doing, then it's great. And I don't actually even care about the product. Like I've got sweaters that I worked on that I've worn like once. And it's really just about the making for me. So if I don't like the process in which I'm having to make the thing, I don't like it even if the thing comes out really pretty. So I'm looking at making a pattern similar to the something cozy, but I think I found another one that I want to work on because I don't want to knit flat. I also don't have the right weight yarn. So the yarn that I have that I just was rifling around was I have this, which I got from, look what I'm doing. Like this is Gabz right now. Because I ripped out my ripped out my swatch. This I got, it's a cotton boucle yarn from when I went to the yarn swap that was hosted by Uncommon Threads. So I've got this really pretty, like mild boucle. It's not nearly as fluffy and aggressive fluffy like Chaley's. So I got that, and the yarn swap was free. So I was like, perfect, I can make the same thing. I've already swatched twice and I don't like it either way. So I swatched with a pink, and my husband's like, that looks nice. But sometimes husbands and other yarn supporting partners just tell you it looks nice. I think he may have done that. I don't actually even know if he looked at it, but that's okay. He's a very supportive of our yarn antics. So Chaley's like, maybe not. And I agree, maybe not. So the pink didn't work. And then I decided that I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll just do it by itself. It looks fine by itself. It's just hard to knit because it's cotton, right? So it needs the wool to be like slippery on my needles.
Right, because it's heavy.
So to that end, I just went rifling around down there, and now I've got this mint. So I think the mint might be okay.
How much you got of that?
Just but I also have a
Stop.
here's what I also
What
have.
are you gonna do? You do a fade?
Yeah, actually, I am. I'm gonna stripe it. I have another skein that's very similar. I just couldn't like quietly rustle and find it while my sister was talking. And I think I'm gonna do like stripes. I think I'm gonna swatch it and see how the stripes look. Because this is single ply, which is not my favorite to knit with. So, but I think it'll be better with a cotton, and it's like milder, right? The blend won't be so candy cane. So
Right.
I'm doing that. We're gonna see. I have to swatch, and I don't think I can even really use the something cozy pattern because I have a different gauge, and I want to knit it in the round, and I want to make it V-neck. So,
Oh, do you know she has a V-neck one?
oh, maybe I just need to go get that one.
It's called, I want to say it's like something comfy, but like,
okay. So maybe this is going to be a little bit of Frankenstein It's a Franken Cozy.
no, I can't remember what it's gonna bother me.
So I'll check out her stuff, but that's the journey I'm on with that. So we'll see how that goes. And of course, I'm doing this in March when it's getting warmer. We're in California. It's gonna be warm in like 2 days.
Dude, it's gonna be so sweaty.
Yeah, but it's cotton. That's what I keep telling myself. It's cotton. It's gonna be fine.
I apologize. It's called the Stay Cozy.
Oh, interesting. So I gotta do some. Ooh, but it's a different fit sleeve. I don't know. I think I may have to. I may go rogue. I may go rogue on this entirely.
Oh dear.
Yeah, because I want to taper in my shoulders because I've got narrow shoulders. So this is going to be a very custom thing. I'll make notes on my Ravelry page when I make one. So then you want to do what I'm doing because you look exactly like me, then you'll be great. But if you are not my size and don't have tiny shoulders, you're on your own.
Heard it here first. She's gonna make a Ravelry page.
Yeah, I'll make one as soon as Chaley aggressively texts me that I haven't made the Ravelry page and she's posting the podcast right now. So I need to make it.
All right. Did you say you had one more after this?
I have two more.
Or is one of them Scrappy by chance?
Yes, it's what I'm knitting on right now underneath the screen.
Okay, I'll save my Scrappy one then. I'll do my next sweater. So I
Okay.
started my next sweater that I'm going to do. I'm doing the Prismatic by Woolen Pine Designs. And so this is what my printer at work doesn't do color. So here we are. But I have had this one I purchased a while ago, and I'm really excited about it. Here you can see it from the front there. Isn't that so cute?
I
Um,
like it a lot.
so I'm really looking forward to it because I found that I believe it's yoked
Mhm.
sweaters fit me better because my sister is much more slim, I would say, in her shoulders. And again, I feel like I'm built like a swimmer, like with super bulky shoulders, and I tend to bulk up in my shoulders first. So like the raglan often makes me feel like the Hulk. I'll say, where like something like this, where it just like goes out, and then men's fit is great for me. So the yoked ends up working out really well because it widens so much that it just like hangs, but it also doesn't like get too heavy on my shoulders because they're giant, so it keeps them up. So I'm trying to focus on doing some yoked sweaters or like more boxy things because I think that tends to fit my body type better. And so I am doing the prismatic sweater, and I started it this morning. And I actually had to go down a needle size, which I'm like, ooh, big time Gabz energy. Uh, well, it's like one needle size, so not quite, but
Not like
I
the
think it's coming
six.
out cute. And so I have a while before I get to do the color work, but that's okay because I did choose so kind of it is a variegate. For the main color, look, I have my cute little like yarn boss stitch marker on there, which we got from Jimmy Bean's wool. And so my main color is from Neighborhood Fiber Company. It's in the rustic fingering base, so it's a single ply, and the colorway is Alice Gadzinski, which I purchased. Actually, I think our dad bought this for me. Well, we each got yarn, but like Gab's got like a tonal, and I got this one from Stitches West 2019. So it's been with us, yeah, huh? 2020? 2020. Well, still, it's been there for a while, I'll say. Like it's now been 3 years that I've had this yarn, and I'm finally casting it on. So this is actually what it looks like in this game. So I'm pretty excited about this. And then for the contrast, so for the kind of outline of the little like pretty diamonds. Ooh, oh, this is also my float tote. Which is a pattern by Knitting Natty, which is perfect for my colorway. I think this is just gonna be my sweater bag. Like
Yeah.
it's even if it's not color work, I just like having all my sweater stuff in here. So for the outline of it, I'm going to use this colorway, was actually hand dyed by one of my friends. Her name is Elizabeth, and she lives in Virginia. So I don't believe she sells her yarn, but she calls it Highland Yarn. This is her little yarn label that she made. So she's from Monterey, Virginia, and there's no name for the colorway because I'm pretty sure it's custom or just like one of a kind. So I think that's super
Chaylee. It's
nice.
called Chaylee.
Okay. Which she also did two for me. So like I think
Shay and Lee. I got it. I'm good at
oh
this.
God. Okay. Great. Gabz. This is why Gabz and I don't dye yarn. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be one of the colors. And then for the inside of it, it's another one of a kind. And I actually know that this is 100% a one of a kind. Sorry, I've got like rogue needle tips in here. Um, I had some leftovers because I barely use this on some socks. This is going to be the inside of the diamond. So I think it'll come out fairly cute, right? Because it has like enough of a
Yeah.
contrast. And this is from Earl Grey Fiber Company and is a fully called one of a kind. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to getting to the color work. I feel like that's kind of the interesting part of it all. And then I'm probably not going to do full length sleeves because I want to be able to wear it more often here in Southern California. So I'll either do like these kind sleeves or like a 3/4 length sleeve, depending on how tired I am of the single ply yarn. So I'll keep it. Also depends on like where the color work hits on my arm, I'll say, because it might look weird to stop it. There's only like an inch between the color work and where I
Yeah.
would stop the sleeve. So it'll probably be 3/4 length. now that I'm reflecting upon this. But that's my sweater I'm working on.
My turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So we were just having this conversation at home. Ah, you can only see the frame of my glasses. Because that Chaley does more muted things, and I am in my eccentric drama teacher era, like Taylor Swift, right? So I'm just fully embracing that eclectic drama teacher vibe. I teach high school drama. So I'm working on another test knit. Yes, I signed up for another test knit. Yeah, I know. But it's short. It's short. It's fine.
The best thing about our shared Instagram is that when Gab signs up for them, I get the notifications and I immediately text them like, "Did you sign up for another test knit?"
So here's the problem. Okay, I wouldn't use our shared Instagram, but understandably, most designers want you to have a public Instagram, and my personal Instagram is not public because it's tied to my legal name, and I don't want my students, up in my life. So I have to do. I'm like, oh, she's gonna notice. Sometimes I try and like get to the notification before, but Chaley's job is a little bit more fluid in what she does every day, where mine's like, second period, I'm here and I can't check my phone.
Yeah,
So
it still pops up on my phone even if you've read it.
I know I keep trying to like hide the whole thing and like make the message get hidden so she can't see it and like tag a bunch of other people so it goes so far. It's a problem. But anyway, I signed up for another test knit. It's for Lucy Hand Stitched. I find all of my test knits. I know some people have asked on Instagram, where do you find all these test knits? I find most of them off of the Instagram page Fat Test Knits. Follow them. They're really great. It's not their own. What?
I thought it was called Fattest Knits.
I'm pretty sure it's Fat Test Knits, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yours makes sense because it's all about test knits, but I just thought it like when I read it, I read fattest.
I don't know which one's right now. I just assumed it was Fat Test Knits.
This is an interesting thing.
Regardless, they post test knits. Like you submit, if you're a designer, you submit to them, and they have guidelines for which test knits they will repost, which usually includes that it has to be a minimum 8 week turnaround. It has to be size inclusive, I think up to a 60-inch bust. So I think and there's a couple other requirements, but those are like the big ones that I stood out to me that Chaley and I always wanted to be working with size inclusive patterns and realistic timelines for turnarounds. Like that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I knit fast, like I knit real fast, but sometimes the turnarounds that some designers put out are banana pants. They're like 2 week turnaround on a 2 skein shawl. I'm like, nah, nah, that's not gonna happen. So I found this on Fat Test Knits. It's Chaley, have you even seen what this looks like? It's
no,
crazy.
because I try not to read them because it's your test knit.
Okay, so it's a shrug. It's a like it starts here. Like it stops here. Like it doesn't go. I think I'm gonna make it longer to cover my bust, but the original is like it stops before, like right where I guess your body transitions. Okay, in my mind, okay. What I would say if I was talking to it's like starts right where your milk ducts start, right? I'm breastfeeding. I breastfed, it's like right here, but it's like you can feel your pec muscles. So the pattern stops here and then it's long sleeves. But you're never going to believe what the sleeve detail is. It's the slugs from the Stephen West string it along. So I'm knitting the slugs again.
Explain what the slugs are, dude.
But it's fine. It's fine. And I'm knitting it in this loud color, like in this crazy, it's International Space Station by Destination Yarn. I have 1.5 skeins, which should totally be fine because it doesn't go past here. It's like really a necklace with arms. It's fine. I just started the slug situation right here. And what's really cool about her pattern, and it's a hell of a lot of work that she's done, it's a made to measure pattern. So you take your measurements for your neck, for your upper bust, your biceps, the length of your arms, and the wrists. You put all that measurements in, you put your gauge in, you put in the weight of your gauge swatch, and the inches, like the dimensions, and then it tells you how much yarn you need, and then it's a Google sheet. So then on the next tab, you've got a measurements tab and a pattern tab. When you click on the pattern tab, it's filled in all of the exact numbers to make your perfect fit sweater. But if you mess up your numbers on the measurements page, there's no other numbers to reference, right? If you watch Knitty Natty, how she'll do things like she'll like knit a size 2 bust but a size 3 arms. This one's I'm like kind of nervous because there isn't another size to reference, right? Like to be like, oh, I really probably like, what if I took my measurement wrong? Or
Yeah.
so I'm working on it. I think it's going to be a lot of trying on and that kind of thing, but I think it's really cool. Like I know a lot of designers are moving towards made to measure patterns. They don't seem the patterns that I make don't seem to fit me as well when I do made to measure because I think it's the ease. I think the ease that's put in isn't like because they make an assumption of ease. And I think that doesn't always work out for me. So then I still try it on. Still try on your patterns like a million times, especially on made to measure. But it's really cool. She's done a bunch of work on it. I'll see how it goes because it's a lot of techniques. I had to do a provisional cast on. I'm having to do the little floopy slugs. It's called Hard on Your Sleeve. So check her out though. Lucy Hand Stitched. Also follow Fat Test Knits or Fattest Knits, either one, whichever one it is.
I think you're right. I think I was just reading it wrong because if it's related to test knits, that makes sense.
It's only test knits that they post.
So I think that's why I think it's fat test knits. Not
follow
fast.
either way you spell it on Insta because there's no spaces. That's why we're confused. There's no spaces on it. Either way you spell it on Instagram, it's the same thing, right?
Does it say anything in their like bio?
Let me check while you share yours. Here I go.
Okay. So my last whip that I have is this is an ongoing whip, but I have made, I would say, significant progress on it, which I'm pretty pumped about. This is my granny stripe blanket. So if you watched maybe our original, I had a pretty significant size magic knot ball. I would say it was probably about like, coconut, maybe not coconut, maybe like a
Measure with your mouth, Jay.
like no, my mouth doesn't go that big. It was a nice like grapefruit size, and now I have a mouth size ball because I do my mouth for
like
scale.
A peach.
No, like a nectarine. Because I would say peaches are a bit plumper. I would say like more like a nectarine or kind of a sad orange. So this is my ball. I have started a second magic knot ball, like one, I actually have two, but one's for Gabz. But this is my granny, and it's crochet. And so I am using a size D 3.25 millimeter hook, and I use the Clover hooks. And this baby is significant because I did a combination of like following what Nate did, but also following what the Crazy Soft Lady did, because we aspire to be a combination, a hybrid of them. So between the two of us, we think we can achieve that.
Yeah. Even though I think I think Nettie Nut is younger than me.
Yeah, we still aspire to do them because I think they're wonderful. And so I did 300 stitches to cast this on. So it is a significant length. But I am just having a grand time. I am not holding it double, so I'm just doing straight fingering weight, which is why I think it's going to take me a millennia to finish this blanket. But I'm just really pleased because I have crapped out on every other single like large scrappy project that I've tried, and I feel still excited about this. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And every time like I get a new color, like right now I'm like racing myself to be like, because sometimes when you turn, right, you get two rows, all like a little bit of the same king. I'm like, okay, let's see if it'll like just be one stripe of it on the ends. So it's those little things that are really like in like some of they're kind of ending up like this feels like my blue end. And then this feels like more of my colorful end with like some darker colors. So I'm loving this. I think it's going to be great, but I'm going to need more scraps because I'm pretty sure I'm going to run out pretty soon. But this is my
I can give you your scrap ball.
Well, I thought we were supposed to make our scrap ball into the same project.
Yeah, but that's okay. Like, it's okay. It's fine.
It's okay. I'll be okay. Those are
So
all
I did so I did look it up. So it okay. I think I'm right. I'm pretty sure I'm right because I don't think you can see this. Nope, it's gonna blow out. So the way they've got it written in their bio, they have FAT, but the F is capital. Then the test is capital, like it's a capital T, and then the N
my.
is cap or the K is capital. So I think it's fat test nits. Like I'm pretty sure
That's
because
good to know.
why would you put a capital T in the middle of fattest, right? That would be silly. So I think it's fat testness, but you should follow them. They have great stuff. That's where I find almost everything. Okay, this is, I don't know if it's gonna, this is the pattern that I'm making.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to shorten the sleeves because I don't want long sleeves. Also, I don't want to do the slugs on the arms forever. So I think I'm going to shorten the sleeves and lengthen the body, which she totally said was fine to do as well. So I'm excited about that one. This is my last work. This is my scrappy project too. And it's Scrappy Sunday, isn't it, Jay? Look,
Woohoo.
look at us. I'm doing the coziest memory blanket. I love it. But Chaylee
Crapped
hit the nail
out.
on the head on why I like this because I flip back and forth when I do magic loop all the time. Right. So I don't mind the constant changing directions. Chaylee doesn't do that with the 9-inch circulars. For me, I really like this because it feels like it's a finished object every time you finish the square, right? Because you're like, done. I did that because I don't finish things that much. I'm not that good at finishing. So I'm loving the instant gratification of finishing, and I get to put in like mine are all crazy, right? Like these are not full skeins, right? I think I need 2 grams, and I'm clearly running short on like all the different combos on them. So I'm on row 4 of
Wow.
this. My goal is to do 14 by 12. So it's 14 squares across like this, and then 12 long. So the way I'm kind of breaking up is I'm trying to do one strip a month, right? So I've done 3 strips because it's March. And I've already started on the April one because some months are shorter than others. So I'm hoping to have it done by the new year is my goal for it. I'm really having a great time with it. I did start weaving in the ends after Chaylee was like, "What you gonna do about those ends, Gabz?" And I'm like,
Did you save them?
"Yes, I saved them." So I've been doing the weave in Steven method. So they're like woven in. I just haven't clipped them yet. So I've been doing the weave in Steven method. Um, yeah, so I think it's going to be good. I'm really excited. It's keeping me really warm. I just put in yarn from when I finished the project. So like right now I have I'm working on right here. This is my moon eater, the leftovers from the test knit. And then I'm going to put the pink in, which is the leftovers from the all tied up socks. And then I've got a backlog of scraps, which I am trying to work through. That's my goal kind of for the summer is to get through the backlog of scraps. That's my version of scrap free 2023 is to get through the backlog because I do have a bunch of scrappy backlog things in a vase. So my goal is to have like an empty vase by the end of the summer, and maybe I'll buy myself flowers as a present.
Do you think
Yes,
maybe
Shirley.
you could finish those hypnotic yarn socks or
I'm
yarn
busy.
socks?
I'm busy.
Okay,
Those
great.
aren't scraps because I haven't started. No, I gotta work on
I know,
them.
but I really need those scraps to add on to my
Okay, okay,
socks.
okay, 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 okay. Okay, fine.
I may
Maybe
just
we
start
should
them
make
like
them
that.
like our first summer sock camp cast on.
Oh, okay.
We are doing summer sock camp. If you haven't watched Kay's the Crazy Sock Lady video on summer sock camp, I think it's like her podcast, her like not most recent, but her previous podcast. She is doing it as a knit along. We only ever did the knit along part, so it changes nothing. I hope
Oh,
she does
great.
Instagram lives. I really did enjoy her Instagram live, so I hope she does those if she finds the time this summer. That would be cool.
I only have one acquisition.
I have our acquisition.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know why I decided I would order this. Maybe I got my tax refund or something back. So I decided we love Nitty Natty. And so I have wanted a Love and Stitches something for a while. And I think, oh, I remember gave me a coupon. So I had like free shipping or something. And I'm easily like swayed by a coupon. So I got, so I said I didn't like Raglan, but I do like baseball tees.
Me too.
So I'm a big baseball tee gal. So I got the Love and Stitches baseball tee. I did the pink logo with just white and black. So it feels kind of like a very traditional baseball tee. It was kind of long. So that is something I would definitely factor into your decision if that's something that you're considering. And I got a medium. So for me, I got a booty, so it'll just, rest up on my booty. But yeah, I do have a size small one, and that one fits me fine as well. But I was like, I think I want something a little bit more like oversized. So that's why I went for medium this time. And my small one is my Scrappy Sunday baseball tee.
I feel like the spreadshirt sizes are like all over the place.
Yeah, they seem quite long for me. It might be because I keep shopping men's, but even my like ladies fit tee is kind of long as well.
Yeah, this is a large, but like I got an extra large in the summer sock camp one, and it is gigantic on me. Like it
Right.
is not just one size up, it's like four sizes up. So, because it's a different style, it's a baseball tee style.
Right.
So it's big. But then the crazy sock lady sweatshirt that you gave me, it's a small, and I look like this.
It's like really tiny.
Yeah,
So
it's like a two, like the sizes are, which is, I understand, like everyone complains and understand that sizes vary between like brands, but like when you're ordering from the same company, I would expect the similar,
good ratio between.
right? All the smalls would fit the same body. That fits a smaller, all the mediums, but it doesn't, like it's everywhere.
No,
But
yeah.
that's okay. So Che and I I'm now obsessed with Erin Lane bags and have gotten my sister down the rabbit hole with Alice on that one. So she did a shop update that we shopped, and then I'm part of her rewards program. So I have these things, she calls them floof bas, but they're really just rewards points. I have rewards points. So then we got $15 off. So Chaley got this very cute narwhal butt bag.
I think it's butts.
Yeah, narwhal. Anyway, it's cute. It's a sock bag. It's a sock sack bag. It's a drawstring on the top.
Oh,
This,
good features.
and it's got this really cool feature. I have one too, but mine's in the Grand Canyon one from Destination Lane. It's got this cool snapping thing, so
I'm looking forward to the snapping feature.
you can snap it onto stuff, and I snap mine onto everything. I snap it onto the lunchbox. I snap it on because when I go to work, I snap it onto my purse, which is also an Airlane bags because I use Airlane bags as my purse too. I snap it onto the diaper bag. I've snapped it onto another project bag when I was traveling. The snap is the business. I really enjoy it. So this is Chaley's, which is why I'm going to now fold it back up so it's still very nice for her. We ship together, like we a lot of times we do shipping together. And then I got the sweater bag, which is an old pattern from her, and it says Dufflock. And it's like a mama sheep with all her little sheepies, and it's just like, what the heck's going on with my life right now?
Is
Which,
there a question mark?
yeah, but also an exclamation point.
Oh, cute.
Which I'm a mom of like they're two toddlers now, so this is constantly where like one of my kids has wandered off, and this is my other kid who's doing Lord knows what, something terrible probably. So we got those, and then she had the March Mayhem sale last night, and I made my husband and sister watch the whole 3.5 hour show, where we bid on, it's a live sale, so you bid on stuff, choose this comment sold. My husband managed to put like 54 bags in the cart, and we bought two.
It's really like it's just you get such a like I don't know if it's just like adrenaline or like some kind of serotonin release when like you get something into your cart and you're like I was fast enough. For me, I got like one and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I was house sitting last night, and I came home, and it's my Facebook that's logged in, and my laptop is in the middle of my husband's desk, and it's hooked up to his dual monitors that he uses for work. He's an engineer, and he's got his keyboard, and he looks like he's set up some kind of like criminal mastermind. I think that's how he got all of the bags in the cart. So we got two really cute bags. which we'll probably be able to show on the next podcast because she's very fast at shipping. Like it's ridiculous how fast she is. She said she'll mail them out probably by Wednesday, but small businesses.
Anything to
Those are our
happen.
only acquisitions.
Yeah. And so Gabs has some exciting news, and then we can share about maybe what we're doing today.
Okay. I know this is why you all watch the podcast. Like you've just been waiting with bated breath since I announced it. Eleanor has a tooth.
Woo!
She has a tooth. It came out yesterday and she's been absolutely miserable, the poor little girl. But she's got one little tooth right here and it's crooked and it's like sticking out and it's sharp and she's real mad about it. But she's got a tooth. My daughter's 15 months old. We've been waiting a very long time for teeth. I know she's within the normal range, but my older toddler, my 3-year-old got teeth at 8 months. So I was like, where the heck is her gosh darn teeth? So as promised, Lenny's got teeth. We're going to do a pattern sale. Chaylee told me that we should do how much, Jay?
Oh, because she's 15 months, you're getting 15%, but we're gonna double it because double trouble when you've got teeth in the mix. So it'd be 30% off.
All of our self-published patterns on Ravelry. I will get it organized and Shaylee will put the link to our Ravelry store underneath and the coupon code. I think the coupon code is going to be teeth. So it's one of those, if you know,
All caps teeth, you think?
Yeah.
Great.
So it's going to be all caps teeth, gets you 30% off of any of our self-published patterns in our Ravelry store for like a month because it took so long to get her darn teeth. So Lenny's got teeth. I'm so happy. Poor kid's so miserable. She'll work through it. It'll be okay. We've got all the teething remedies going for her, but it's a bummer. Teeth is a bummer for her. I'm thrilled. She doesn't have to get x-rayed. It's going to be great. Yeah, that was the next step. She had to get sedated and x-rayed if her teeth didn't come in. And who wants to sedate their baby? So, what are we doing today, Che?
Today we are doing a knit-a-thon, and it is the Knit for Food knit-a-thon. Gabs and I and our dad have our team, and I won't have our link because it will be done by the time that I post this. But to all of those who have donated via our link, thank you so much. The Knit for Food-a-thon goes to 4 different nonprofit or charity organizations that all help to fight food insecurity. And so this has been fun for us. We did a little Zoom this morning with just dad and I were trying to cast on. So we were silent for a while because both dad and I can't talk when we're counting to cast on our stitches. So I think dad's making a hat. I was casting on my sweater. I believe Gabrielle had just finished her socks and then was casting on the shrug thing. And so it's been fun so far. I think I'm at 3.5 hours. You have to knit for 12 hours, but as a team, I believe we can split it. Yes?
Yeah.
So I think we're doing well.
Yes. And it's like I watched one of the Zoom things this morning and it was really good. It's like knitting related items. So like I was balling up yarn or like I was organizing my stuff or swashing, or she even said shopping for yarn counts as knitting. Che. It's hosted by Laura
It's for
Nelkins.
charity. I think I need to do some shopping.
Yeah, obviously. I watched the knitting ergonomics video by Carson. I forgot his last name. He's in California as well, but he's Ergo I Knit on Instagram. He's got the book that's called Knitting Ergonomically. He's had really good tips on how to like knit in ways that are good for your body and not use the recliner, which made a bunch of sense because he's like, when you're knitting, you're sitting, but you're working. You're making your body work. The recliner is meant for like resting. Your body's not actually at rest when you're knitting, like you're doing things. So I thought that was really cool. I think we're going to tune into the game show tonight. Nitty Natty is going to be a contestant. So we're going to root for her and be team Nitty Natty unless the crazy sock lady's also on there. And then we'll have to split our loyalties. And I don't know. Except if one of our amazing followers is also one of them, then we will cheer for everybody because we're good at that. Our heart is big enough for everybody. So we're excited. This is our first year doing it. This is their 3rd year doing the knit-a-thon, and they raised over $300,000 for the for charities. It's really cool. I'm excited to keep knitting. I feel like it's manageable if you do it as a team. I feel like 12 hours straight as one person is a lot.
I feel like I'm only really awake for like 14 hours total. So that's not right. I'm
No.
not up for that many hours though, I think, because I solidly get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And so I feel like 12 hours is a lot.
Yeah, for one person, I feel like that's kind of epic, but split between the three of us, that's only 4 hours.
Yeah,
That's You could easily do that on a weekend. And if you get a bigger team, that's only what, 2 hours. Maybe if you get six of you, that's easy to do in a night from like 7 to 9 or 8 to 10 or something like that.
that's like 2 episodes of some show or a movie.
Yeah.
To say,
Oh, I did knit in the theater, Jay.
good for you
It's not as easy as I thought it would be.
in the darkness.
I was knitting the heel flap and heel turn and gusset pickup stitches
Oh,
in
that's
the dark.
your own
I went
fault.
to go see Cabaret at our local high school. So I was trying to knit that. And if you haven't seen Cabaret, is a pretty heavy show too, which is why I kind of did it because I knew Cabaret was going to be like emotionally heavy. It's set in the Weimar Republic with the rise of the Nazi Party. So it's a show. But Liza Minnelli's in it, not the one, obviously not this one, but the one that you can watch on film.
Did you know, Gabs, that when LMU, which is the university I work at, did cabaret this past fall, Miss Liza Minnelli herself came to closing night. I was annoyingly traveling,
I
but
can't believe you missed that, Chaylee. What I
I
cannot believe you missed
am
that.
so excited. I now know two students who Liza said that you are a star to. So by the
Amazing.
transitive property, I feel like I am also a star. Yeah.
You are a star, just Liza Minnelli didn't tell you.
I just think that is so cool. And I like this icon has just graced us in our our theater's under renovation right now. So it's really exciting. But like that theater has been there for millennia. So I'm like, Liza sat in our rickety theater. Like that is so cool.
Amazing. Amazing. We're both big musical theater kids.
It's awesome. I use it in all of my presentations for admissions, and then I feel really sad inside when like none of the students are impressed. And I'm like, I need you to go away. Uh,
I've definitely threatened to kick students out. I'm like, get out of my class. They're like, who's Freddie Mercury? I'm like, out of here. Out. Out of my class. Until you
absolute
educate
pain.
yourself.
Well, thank you for sticking with us. We might actually, depending, because Gabs is going to be opening up her show, actually, speaking of soon, we may not get an in-person podcast, but we may. It just depends on where we're at. I'll be working when I visit them, pardon me, about 2 weeks. So we'll see. Maybe it'll be more of a vlog kind of situation where we're both in and out and it's like a combo. But we will check back in with you all soon. And we hope you all have a wonderful rest of whatever time of day you are watching this. So thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.